continue on from where we left off. Alright, so where we left off was we went on a trip into town with Marie. Princess want to go to town, do some shopping, meet some other people, pick up some books and the like. Down just a smidge. Alright. There. And we had to run around and get a change of clothes for some of that stuff. Give me a sec. Which is where new duds came in. I believe we just stopped a purse snatcher who was running towards us. We also ran into the baker and made her laugh so hard she almost went into labor. Almost. I believe that's where we left off. Yeah, and she box of pastries and handed us the bag, and that's where we left off. Alright, so be it. Let's get to it. The sign catches my eye as we make our way back to the bookstore. Art supplies? What? Did you want to go inside? Because my previous offer still stands. Back before I took up the sword, I used to spend what little free time I had on drawing pictures of whatever caught my interest. And even though it's been years since the last time I've drawn anything in earnest, I do still feel the urge now and again. Yeah, why not? Very well. After checking inside, just in case, I hold the door open for the princess to enter and follow behind her. Inside the store, I'm immediately struck by the sheer variety of art materials on display. They've got several different grades of paper, pencils, canvases, paints. I even see some weird looking cubes or something called pastels, whatever those are. I never took you for the artistic type. Well, I used to sketch to pass the time. It's been a while since I've really had a chance to do it, though. I see. Since this store seems to be less focused on staff-customer interactions than most of the places that we've been to today, we find ourselves browsing around on our own. And by we, I mean that I'm walking up and down the aisles while the princess idly walks alongside me. After circling just about the entire store, I find that the thing that grabs my attention the most is probably the most unassuming product this place has in stock. A blank sketchbook. To be more specific, a stack of little sketch pads that look like they're small enough to fit inside of my jacket pockets. Without really thinking about it, I pick one of them up and start flipping through it. This is some good quality paper. Surprised, the princess leans in to take a look at what I'm holding. So you're actually going to buy it? I shrug. Might as well. And since I have no idea when I'll be coming back here again, I should probably grab a few extras, as well as some pencils to go with them. After all, there's no sense in having a sketchbook without also having something to do the sketching with. Over at the store counter, the attendant places everything I just bought into a nice little cloth bag with the store's name printed on it. After balancing that bag on top of the princess's box of pastries so that I'll have a hand free, we head back outside. It isn't long before we reach the bookstore. Unfortunately for us, the crowd that had gathered after the purse-snatching incident has long since dispersed. But, just in case there's someone from back then still lingering around, we hurry inside. Hello again, Mr. Marcia. We're back to pick up those books that I thought I bought before. I was just wondering when you two would be coming back. Right after you left before, I heard some kind of ruckus going on outside. You didn't get caught up in that, did you? The princess shakes her head. Don't worry. It wasn't anything that you need to concern yourself with. Well, if you say so. He then brings up a satchel containing the princess's books from under the counter and hands it to her, which is, of course, then passed right to me. It looks like my tower of luggage has grown once again. A handy sort, isn't he? I'm just grateful that he's not as clumsy as he looks. One semi-long conversation about the wonderful world of books later, we say goodbye to Mr. Marcia for the second time today and return outside. So that's all for today? Yes, the carriage should be waiting for us by now. Alright. Marie, wait. What? I felt a presence just now. I'm sure of it. I don't know if it was an enemy lurking in the shadows or what, but it was definitely something. With my hand on the pommel of my sword, I searched the area for whatever the hell it was. And find nothing. No oncoming assassins aiming for the princess's life. No random thieves like before. Absolutely nothing. The worst part is that uneasy feeling is still there, but I can't find any actual proof that there's anything out of the ordinary going on. Sorry. I guess it was just a false alarm. Perhaps all that sugar from those donuts you inhaled has you jumpy. I'm still on high alert when we reach the spot where we dropped off. But luckily, we get there just as the carriage is pulling up. And after the requisite check of its interior, we start the journey back to the castle. Marie, what is it now? I know I probably sound really paranoid, but would it be okay if I checked through the stuff that you bought today? Huh? There's that what the hell is wrong with you look again. Why would you? I still can't shake off that feeling. It's just to be sure, you know? Well, if you absolutely insist. I start with the bakery box, filling the carriage with a sweet aroma of pastries when I open it. But now isn't the time to be appreciating that. Taking special care not to directly touch any of the food in my hands, I search through the box. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Then I do the same with the princess's books, taking them out of their satchel and flipping through the pages while taking care not to damage their spines. But just like the pastries, I find nothing. Finally, I go through my own art supplies and get the same result. Nothing. Of course. Defeated, I return everything to its original state and lean back in my seat. Sorry for bothering you like that. The rest of the ride back to the castle was spent with me gazing out the window in search for the slightest irregularity. For better or worse, nothing turns up. The sun is pretty low in the sky by the time we pass through the castle gate, and once the carriage comes to a complete stop, Arnaud opens the door for us. Welcome back, Princess Marianne. Reinhold. Hey, Arnaud. Good evening. Once we're both back on solid ground, another butler hurries over and takes the princess's things. She probably wouldn't object to me carrying them to her room myself, but it's not like I'm about to volunteer for extra work to do. I heard about that good deed you did in town today, Reynold. Nice job with that. Hmm? Oh, yeah, that incident with the stolen purse. I saw him running towards us, and my body just reacted automatically. But maybe. There is something I was wondering about, though. Oh? Do you know if anything suspicious happened in town today aside from that robbery? Not as far as I've heard. Why do you ask? Ugh, not this again. The princess makes no attempt to hide her annoyance. I got a bad feeling just before we started back here. I know it might be nothing, but it's still bugging me. I see. With a solemn expression, Arnaud pats me on the shoulder. Reinhold, a man should never ignore premonitions of danger. Such things can mean the difference between life and death. So I've learned. But while something fishy may be going on in town, I can tell you with all certainty that nothing out of the ordinary has occurred here in the castle while you were away. And you can rest assured that whatever you felt out there hasn't followed you home. That's definitely a relief to hear. And now I believe I'll go and look into what might have alerted you. Good night. Arnaud bows deeply to the princess before heading down the hall. So, is that all? She seems kind of annoyed about having been pretty much ignored during that entire conversation. I guess? Good. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to my room. Sure, Marie. Sure, Princess. I'm not sure how many of you guys are there, but feel free to make a choice if you want. If no one says anything, I'll just make a choice on my own. Wonder what all has changed in the demo here. I don't think he's changed much in these first original days. I think he's mostly just added on to the extra. Sixth day or whatnot now. I don't know. The previous encounter was actually a foreshadowing of a future event. I won't say what, if you guys don't follow along, but it is what it is. I'm curious to see what the end result of that is. Alright, nobody made a choice, so here we go. Sure, Princess. Sure, Princess. Actually, did you still want me to call you that, or would you prefer Marie? What do you think? Considering the way she's glaring at me right now, pressing my luck here is probably not the best idea. Princess it is, then. Huh. This is the first time I've seen the princess looking so tired. I guess she isn't really used to walking around all day. Though there isn't really much reason why someone like her would be. Huh? In front of the princesses. There we are. Messing with some of my setup here. In front of the princess's door, I find the butler who carried her stuff up here, along with Melanie. I didn't think I'd run into her again today. As we approach, the butler hands the box of pastries and satchel of books to her and hurries off. Good evening. Good evening, Melanie. Good evening. So, how did today's trip into town go? The princess heaves a weary sigh. Eventful, if nothing else. A far cry from the castle. Well, at least you bought some souvenirs. Melanie looks down at the box of pastries in her hands. Though I doubt these will make it through the night. Melanie. Melanie starts to giggle at the princess's flustered expression. I guess she's not as intimidated by her as most of the other staff seems to be. Anyways, that will be all for today. The princess glares at me. And although you may still be little more than a lizard, I will admit that you weren't overly terrible today. Was that a compliment? It certainly didn't sound like one. But I guess I ought to take what I can get. You may consider yourself dismissed for the night. The princess motions for Melanie to follow her as she enters her bedroom. Once the door closes after them, I walk down the hallway to make a quick stop at my room. And, since I'm feeling just a little bit paranoid, the first thing I do upon entering is walk over to my desk and check on the map that Gerhard lent me. Great, it's right where I left it. That's one less thing to worry about. Breathing a sigh of relief, I set aside a single sketchbook and pencil to bring with me and sew the rest of my new art supplies away. And back out the door I go. There's still a little bit of daylight left. Maybe I can work out the rest of this tension down in the training yard before it gets completely dark out. Alright, me. I might have got turned around a couple of times along the way, but I still made it down here in pretty good time. Not bad for a solo trip to a part of the castle that I've never actually been to before. Huh? It's probably because it's getting late, but there really aren't that many people down here. I see a couple of guys sparring with wooden swords, some others jogging around the track that lines the perimeter of the yard, and... Wait, is that Nicolette? Oh, hey Reno. As cheery as ever, she waves me over. Look at you, still dressed all stylish for your date with Mary Ann. Please don't joke like that. If someone who heard you said that gets the wrong idea and then passes it on to the princess, she'll murder me. Or have someone else do it for her. Oh, my bad. It is true that you never know who's eavesdropping. But I did hear that you were showing off to her while you two were in town today, you sly dog. I roll my eyes. Yeah, I'm sure she was impressed by my amazing ability to carry her stuff around for her. Or maybe it was the whole making a pregnant woman almost go into labor thing that did it. Prick. Nicolette stares at me like I just committed a crime. Well, what the hell did you do? I told a joke that went over a little too well. No. He didn't like that. I was hoping for something a little more impressive. She actually looks disappointed. Anyways, I actually came down here to maybe get some sparring in before it got dark. Since you're here, would you be interested in going a few rounds? Oh, sorry. I actually just got done working out. Just my luck. But I was just about to head to the kitchen and get something to eat. You're welcome to join me if you want. So far I've been running this game with viewers and chats during the show. So, I'm not about to change it up now, but take her up on her offer. I'm getting hungry. Decline. I want to train. Decline. I want to draw. Option 1, 2, or 3. Give you guys about a minute or so if you want to pick something up. There's no real... Go ahead and pick whatever. There's no real detriment to any of it. It's just a demo, and it's for fun. And I know a good chunk of where they go from here. If I can remember properly. It's been a while since I've played it though. There's what I do find fascinating about the series of events here in this game is that Melanie seems to be the favored character. I've run this a couple of times, and most people like Melanie. While the main game had two other interests be the main focus, which is kind of fascinating. Yeah, this game had a original story, a trial run in forum quest format, and there was a thing called the Waifu Wars that were pretty horrible. That everybody wanted their girl to win so bad it got really ugly. But we got through it somehow, and ended up with a finished story. I don't quite agree that that was the best choice, but it is what it is. Anyway, I did pick, so I'll take her up on her offer. I'm getting hungry. I'm still feeling kind of tense, but my stomach is also demanding to be fed, and I never was one to deny it anything. Yeah, I guess I'll take you up on that offer. Alright, then let's get going. Slapping me on the back, Nicolette pushes me along as she hurries towards the exit. I'm kind of relieved that she quits with the pushing once we're out in the hallway, but then she starts towards the kitchen at a really quick pace, and I almost have to break into a jog just to keep up with her. I guess those long legs of her make for long strides, too. She glances back at me. Don't think I didn't notice you checked me out back there, Reinhold. What? I nearly fall over. Wait a minute, I wasn't... I admit to looking at her legs just now, but it's not like it was for some kind of perverted reason. With a deadly serious look in her eyes, Nicolette stares me down, and then bursts into laughter. I was just messing with it. I didn't know you'd take it so seriously. Should have figured. Besides, I ended up having a stroke if I got pissed off every single time I got ogled. When you're a beautiful maiden like me, that kind of shit's a constant occurrence. Yeah, I bet it is. After letting out a long, tired sigh, I trudge past Nicolette and continue on my way. What? Hey, you're not actually mad, are you? She's the one who gets caught off guard this time, and soon starts chasing after me. Without saying a single word, I walk through the doorway to the kitchen. Come on, Reinhold, it was just a stupid joke. Joke? Margot peeks her head to the door to the back room just as Nicolette enters the kitchen. What's going on? Are you two fighting? Hey, welcome, welcome. I was just teasing him a little, but I guess I hit a nerve. Really? Nicolette, I didn't take you for the type to go around bullying newbies. I wasn't. It was just some friendly ribbing. How was I supposed to know he was so sensitive? Yeah, I guess she's suffered enough. I'm not, actually. What? Absolutely. This game is absolutely worth checking out. I was just pretending to be offended so I could watch you squirm. He turned the tables on you. Damn it. I know what you mean, but I just couldn't help myself. Now, if you had enough laughs at my expense, how about telling me what the food situation is? Oh yeah, that. The mention of work is what finally snaps her from her giggling fit. I was able to save just enough for the previous batch for a plate for you. But I'm afraid that Reinhold here will have to wait until more is cooked. Unless you're planning on sharing a plate, that is. And of course she winks at me, just as obviously as she can while saying this. Pfft, yeah, right. I guess that's a no. Okay then. I'll be right back with your plate. And Reinhold, I'll be sure to get you once this latest batch is finished cooking. Thanks. While Margot hurries to the back room, me and Nicolette head over to where the tables are. Sorry, man. What's she apologizing for? I'm the one who was just teasing her. When I asked if you wanted to come down here with me, I didn't know that my plate would be the last of the food they had already. Oh. It's fine. I'm used to waiting. And my stomach will just have to bear with it. Still, though, I just feel weird having you watch me eat. Don't tell me you're actually going to do what Margot. Hell no. I'm not sharing my plate with you. Ouch. But I would be willing to spare one turkey leg. Only one, though. I haven't eaten a damn thing all day, and I'm not about to give up any more than that. Feel free to make a choice here if you guys want. Accept her offer to have one tribute leg, or no, I can wait until my plate actually arrives. No pressure on any of this stuff, like literally no pressure. But this game is definitely worth checking out. You can actually read the entire original story in its original form if you would like. It was done in quest format. Some dude makes a little blurb and then like offers a choice, like accept or not, I can wait. And then everybody there would vote for the one they wanted to go have happen. And tally it up and then go out and then write the next post, come up with the next choice, and continue until the game played out. And this is one of the more well-written ones, and this is actually a Kickstarted game. We got like 20 grand or so funded into this thing, and it's mostly just a one-man army doing it. He's doing all the writing, all the programming, and all that stuff. He is outsourcing the art and hiring artists, and that's actually one of the things he's been having trouble with recently. Some of the artists are flaking out. Like, you'll see some of the background images. Like, this is one he's commissioned, but then there's like fuzzy pastel oily looking things. Those are ones that are temporary, that were supposed to be made, but the artist didn't keep up with it. So he's been looking for new ones recently. But yeah, and it's really cool. Each of these options is pretty much fully fleshed out. I'm still not entirely sure how he's physically planning to do it, because I know a bit of programming. But he's planning to have like all your options actually be counted and work towards you, and like all the things add up. And it's not like take this route, say red, take that route, say blue, and then they both lead up to the same point, and the choice is irrelevant. Each one has a small little effect on the story, or a big one, depending on what actually is there. Alright, so sorry, going off in a bit of a tangent too, but yeah. I think there were like 7 romantical love interests in this game, or so. A couple of extra ones we got from the Kickstarter stretch goals. And each route is unique. It's not just say yes to this girl, say yes to that girl, say yes to this girl, and you get her or her or her. You actually have to work at them. And he's got like everything planned out. It's crazy. It's Princess Guard Quest, if you want to take a look at it, and it's on itch.io. Yeah, let's see. See if I can remember the count again. Actually, at least 9. 2 of them were stretch goals. But yeah, it's crazy. And he wants them all fully functional and not just a kind of you meet up with her and happily ever after. It's like, no, he actually is planning to have them all fully fleshed out, which is really cool. It's one of the main reasons I helped funded it. I was also there during the original story, so it's pretty cool. This is not a harem game. This is straight up not a harem game. But I do have Clannad. I bought it on a recent sale. I haven't tried it out yet. going to be doing that on stream once I finish some of these stories. There's too many games and too many stories to read. I'm doing 3 games a week, every weekday, and I still am having trouble keeping up with all this shit. But yeah, Clannad is apparently one of the best visual novels out there. I don't know why, but apparently it is, and I'm going to be trying it one day. But I also don't know much about it. I'm still working through Mineko, Danganronpa. I think Danganronpa will be the second one. Yeah, I play one every day, and I'm still accumulating a backlog. Back to the story a bit. Sorry. Feel free to keep chatting or whatever, but I'll keep reading. Just as I'm about to accept Nicolette's generous offer, Margot returns to the table with a heaping plate of turkey legs. All crispy and brown on the outside, they look like they've been cooked to absolute perfection. Corpse Party. That name is familiar, but I can't place it. I know I've heard that before, though. All crispy and brown on the outside, they look like they've been cooked to absolute perfection. And where the legs have been speared with a fork, I can see the tender meat underneath. Crap, I'm starting to drool. Here you go, Nicolette. Thanks. Nicolette seems more than happy to take it off her hands. Gory, very gory. Alright. That might be why I don't recognize it. I'm not big on the horror. It's never really quite done much. I've never paid much attention to horror games. Especially gore stuff. Gore doesn't really bother me too much. It can in excessive amounts, but the thing that really gets me for horror games is the psychological horror, as opposed to jump scares or like people dying and shit. I don't know. Not quite the best of table discussions as we're eating turkey leg here. Well, we're not eating, she's eating it. Maybe we can cross her out from the fourth wall. And I'll be back with yours as soon as I can, Reinhold. But if we need something to hold you over until then, I think we might still have a few rolls left. I shake my head. That's okay. Nicolette already offered me one of her turkey legs. I'm willing to try them, try the games, but if you have any new things for me to try, they are on backlog at the moment. And I can get to them eventually. Maybe. Margot stares at her with a look of total astonishment. Nicolette, are you really? Nicolette rolls her eyes. Yeah, what of it? It wouldn't feel right for me to go stuffing my face while he's stuck waiting however long it takes for his food to get done cooking. Are you sure that's not for some other reason? She leans in close to Nicolette. I mean, your new friend here is quite the looker, and you're not romantically involved with anyone else as far as I know. Ugh, cut it out. It ain't like that. I'm just trying to be nice. If you say so. Giggling all the while, Margot drags her feet to the back room, and then returns a few seconds later with a bunch of empty plates. What are those for? Just something for you to put the bones on when you're finished with them. She places them on the table between us. And now I think I'll give you some privacy. Once again, she makes a quick exit. Honestly. Margot's alright most of the time, but she really does not know when to quit joking around. Something tells me that Nicolette's not all that appreciative of her sense of humor. Anyways, here. She slides the plate over to me. Go ahead and pick whatever one you want. Oh, really? The big one over the edge of the plate looks particularly tasty. You don't mind if I take this one, do you? I got plenty of others to eat, so it doesn't really matter to me which one you take. Well, in that case, without any further hesitation, I claim the turkey leg that I've been eyeing for myself and place it on one of the the spare plates. She glances at me. You're not going to eat it now? I was waiting until you started on yours first. Huh. I wasn't expecting you to be worried about good manners. It's just an old habit. I think I'll refrain from getting into specifics here. I guess I gotta hurry up then. With that, she picks up a turkey leg and chomps into it. And since now I don't have any reason not to do so myself, I start on my own. As I eat, it's like every ounce of concentration I have is spent on savoring the taste of this tender meat that's just peeling off the bone. I know these things tend to be too tough if you don't cook them for long enough, but that's definitely not an issue with this one. My only complaint is that it only lasts a couple of minutes before I've totally stripped it of anything edible. But now that I'm finally able to concentrate on something other than stuffing my face, I look over at my neighbor. That's, wow. That must be how other people feel when watching me eat. In all my days, I have never seen anyone devour food as fast as Nicolette's doing right now. It's actually kind of scary. Yeah, that's it. With a sigh of satisfaction, Nicolette leans back in her chair and stretches her arms over the table, which is now pretty much covered in plates filled with her leftover turkey bones. Eh? Turning towards the source of that voice, I find a beret-wearing girl hesitantly approaching the table. Sylvie, where the hell have you been? I just got done eating. Oh, so they know each other? Sorry, I lost track of time. It's alright. And it's not like I got too lonely without you, since Reynold was here to keep me company. Reynold? Nicolette pats me on the shoulder. Yep, this here is Marianne's new babysitter. And Reynold, this lovely lady with the cute hat, is my best friend Sylvie. Unsure what else to do, I wave at her. Nice to meet you, Sylvie. Yeah, likewise. And now that our introductions are all done with, it's time for me to get out of here. Sliding her seat back from the table, Nicolette rises to her feet and gives her arms a good stretch. Sorry that I couldn't stick around longer, but you know how it is. Sylvie shakes her head. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. Oh, you're so understanding. With a big, goofy smile on her face, Nicolette reaches over to Sylvie and rustles her hat around until she finally gets annoyed enough to bat her arm away. I'll see you later too, Reynold. Maybe next time all three of us can eat together. That'd be nice. Having finished saying all of her goodbyes, Nicolette hurries out of the kitchen. But without her goofing around, the atmosphere in here gets... well, it's kind of awkward. You know, you can sit down if you want. Oh, of course. But, when Sylvie points to the table, it's immediately clear what she's trying to say. Because with the sole exception of the area that I was basically blocking off from Nicolette, the entire thing is covered in turkey bone plates. Sorry about the rest of the table. I clear out a little more of the space next to me so that she can have somewhere to sit before pulling out the chair for her. No, it's okay. She seems more bothered about the idea of sitting so close to me than she is about the bones that are all over the place. I know it may seem hard to believe after seeing this mess that she left here, but Nicolette's actually a really nice girl when you get to know her. Yeah, I figured that out pretty quickly. Oh, sorry. It's just... she usually gives a bad first impression, so I worry about her. Completely flustered, Sylvie starts to pull her beret down like she's trying to hide behind it. It's a good thing that Margot walks up to our table and draws her attention before things get too bad. Reynold, just look at you, trading in one pretty girl for another. Don't tell me Nicolette was too much for you? What? Oh, Sylvie's eyes grow wide at that comment. I'm too worn out for it to get much of a reaction out of me. Please, Margot. I think we've had enough teasing for one day. Aw, you're no fun. Sylvie seems relieved by my comment, but now Margot's pouting like a little kid. I guess you're here to eat too, Sylvie? Yes, please. Alright. So, were you hoping to share a plate with Reynold here, or... I'd really prefer to have my own. She's enjoying every second of this. Did you have anything in particular that you wanted? Turkey legs, please. However could I have guessed? With that, Margot hurries off to the back room. But just as she's about to step out of sight, she glances back at the table and winks at me again. At least Sylvie doesn't seem to have noticed it this time. Shut up and wait for my food? Strike up a conversation with Sylvie. Yeah, this theme, this music playing, is actually my favorite one of the story. I just really enjoy it. And this here is Sylvie, one of the other interests in the game. And honestly, personally, my favorite character. It's fascinating. She actually has an option to be feel free to vote, by the way. To meet her earlier on, this is the option where you've never met her until now. You've missed every option to run into her. And honestly, I bet Beatrice would probably be a bit upset about that, as Sylvie is actually the court mage, or thereabouts. I forget the actual title. But yeah, she's the resident mage of the group. And oh yeah, one of the things why they're offering turkey legs at this castle instead of like T-bone steak or shit like that. The author has actually decided and went with it that the world here doesn't have any hooved creatures like horses or cattle or like I think pigs or goats. They definitely have a cleft hoof, 2 feet, 2 toes, as opposed to one big hoof like a cow. I can't remember specifically what he has, but as such, there are no horses, there are no cows. Therefore, since there are no horses, there's no horse-drawn carriage. It's behemoth-drawn carriage. There are no cows, so there are no steaks, but there are turkeys. So turkey is a main staple. And that's the amount of effort we've put into this world building, which is pretty cool. Alright. Seems like nobody's making a choice, so I'll make one for you. Strike up a conversation with Sylvie. Thanks to Margot's teasing, Sylvie is more self-conscious than ever. I should probably try and do something to lighten the mood before things get even worse. I see that you have good taste in food. Thanks? Sylvie looks down at the table and starts fidgeting. I try to eat right, but I've been skipping a lot of meals ever since I started spending more time away from home. Oh? Yeah. I've actually been losing weight because of it, and that's not good. Huh. I was always under the impression that girls liked it when they lost weight, regardless of whether or not they actually needed to. I mean, it's not like I have much body fat to begin with, aside from... She slaps both hands over her mouth before she can finish that sentence. But it's still completely obvious what she was about to say. I can't really blame her for being embarrassed this time around. But since I'm not the kind of guy who enjoys making fun of nice girls who I've known for all of 5 minutes, it's time to steer the conversation away from her chest. So, what exactly do you do here in the castle? You're not wearing a maid outfit or guard uniform, so... no. She shakes her head. I'm a mage trainee. Huh. I didn't know we even had those. We usually don't, but they decided to make an exception for me after my father went and bragged to everyone who'd listen about how my magical capacity is above average. Above average? I don't know anything about magic, but that must be pretty impressive if they were willing to make an exception just for her. Yeah, I'm 16 years old, and the typical beginner my age can cast Fireball about 10 times before their magical reserves are completely depleted. And that's something else that I didn't know. So, how many can you do? She looks down at the table. 50? But, so you mean your capacity is like 5 times more than most people's? I may not know anything about magic, but that seems like a lot more than just above average. Yeah, Sir Gregory said the same thing. Looks like she's about as used to getting compliments as I am. I'm just glad they didn't know about it until now. Why is that? Well, my father didn't let me learn magic until I was able to defend myself without it. If I'd started learning when I was little, like how it's usually done, I would have attracted way too much attention. Oh. Given how shy she seems to be, I can definitely understand why she wouldn't want that. You two are in luck. Margot emerges from the back room with 2 heaping plates of food, one balanced on either hand. Even though Nicolette cleared out just about an entire batch all by her lonesome, I was still able to convince the cook to spare enough for both of you to get full helpings. Come on, Margot. She doesn't eat that much. Considering the horrific state of affairs that the table is currently in, I have my doubts about that. Thanks, Margot. Yeah, it looks delicious. After making sure that everything's alright with our food, Margot goes about collecting all of Nicolette's leftover dishes into 2 huge stacks. Do you need some help with those? I can carry them back for you if you want. No, don't worry yourself. Really, it wouldn't be any problem for me to. You just focus on your food, sweetie. I've been carrying even bigger piles of dishes since before you were born. She seems pretty sure of herself, if you say so. And sure enough, she manages to carry both stacks of plates to the back room in a single trip. Just as I'm starting to feel thirsty, Margot returns with mugs of water for both of us. Okay, I think that's everything. She looks over the newly cleared table and claps her hands together. If either of you need anything else, just give me a shout. Will do. Thanks again for the food, Mrs. Margot. Alright, continue our polite dinner conversation. I shall now focus on stuffing my face. If you guys want to make a choice. But yeah, it has been quite a long time since this original story went out. And I saw the counter timer being off. It's my goal to one day at least make something I can help out on this story with. I originally helped out on the Kickstarter, just with some funding, whatnot, and I don't regret it at all. But I'd like to do more if I could. So I've had a couple of ideas float around, and none of them have really taken off, but there's a new one I'm mulling about to try and work on. As my name implies, looking for craft. I'm always looking for something to try and do, something to make. Originally, I was going to make a figurine, resin kit type thing, but that fell apart when I was having trouble sculpting clothes. They're a lot harder to sculpt than you'd imagine, well, than you'd think. Then I was gonna try and make a doll out of it, but then that fell apart because of the logistics of what would be needed for it. and then my lack of funds for part of it. But mostly, actually, because I couldn't find a supplier for the actual vinyl needed for the doll, which was really frustrating. Anyway, the current project is to try a plushie doll, like one of these. I think I can actually manage that, though I'm still figuring out how it works. Anywho, it's enough time, I guess. I shall now focus on stuffing my face. I might have started out with a plate that was practically overflowing with food, but it doesn't last long. In the end, I've picked off every last morsel of deliciously spiced meat, stopping just short of gnawing at what little flavor soaked into the bones. Because even I was raised with better manners than to do that. But yeah, my stomach is full, and I must say that I am quite content. I'm sorry if that offended you. What would I be offended by? And then I realized that her plate's in the exact same condition as my own. A pile of bones stripped clean. You actually kept up with my heating pace? Oh. She stares at her plate, then at mine, and finally at me. Well, Nicolette always eats super fast, so I kind of had to learn to keep up if I wanted anything for myself when we were little. I guess that's a habit that stuck. I know that's really unladylike, though. Hey, I'm not in any position to judge. She glances at my bone-filled plate. I guess not. After clearing the table of our dishes and taking them to the back room to be washed, the two of us stop outside the door to the kitchen. It was nice eating with you, Sylvie. Likewise. And maybe Nicolette will be around next time, so it can be the three of us. Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I guess I'll see you later. And before I can even say goodbye, she bolts down the hallway as fast as she can. Might as well call it a night myself. Since I'm still a little bit concerned about what happened earlier, I make a quick stop in front of the princess's room before doing anything else. After confirming yet again that I'm just being paranoid over nothing, I head to my room, toss my things onto my desk, and pass out on my bed. Alright, and that's actually a decent stopping spot. So we're up the next day. Knighthood, Lesser Dragons continue the next day, and this would be day 4 that we're beginning on, I think. Alright. So I'll pick it up there for next week. Alright, thanks for stopping by, all you guys. I'll be here all week. Tomorrow is Danganronpa though, and we're picking that one up right at the end of the trial. Like, literally, the climactic bit. Well, start off with a bang, I guess. They can only go up from there, right? Anyway, take care, guys. See you later.